On a recent morning, I was sitting at a cafe near a language center when a man approached me. I immediately guessed he was in multi-level marketing MLM by his outfit, an ill-fitting suit, tight pants, loafers, and slick-back, shiny hair. I've got nothing against this style. It's true that clothes don't make the man, but we often judge people by how they dress. What was interesting, though, was that he recognized me. "You use TikTok, right?" he asked. I smiled and replied, "Yes, I do." He lit up, "Oh my God, I'm a huge fan of yours, really." I offered a polite, business-like smile and said, "Thank you." In my head, I was thinking, "A fan? You don't even know my name." He was enthusiastic. "To celebrate this fateful meeting, I want to share my work with you." I thought to myself, here we go, destiny again. I don't usually share these things with just anyone, but you're the exception. An exception? I hope to give you an opportunity to make a lot of money. I'm telling you this because I value you so much. Welcome to the land of the eager little flowers. My financial situation was tight, and all I hoped for was enough money to pay my employees for the upcoming holiday. Now, here I was being pitched to invest in virtual currency. Despite this, I kept smiling and asked, "So, what's this opportunity?" He launched into a nonstop monologue, claiming this was a once-in-a-lifetime money-making chance, especially at the end of the year. "Just invest in my system, and I guarantee you'll get at least 10 times your initial capital in 6 months. Do you know Mr. X? He's only been an investor for a year, and he's already a director, earning millions of dollars a month. And Miss I from the District Department of Planning and Investment just used her commission to buy a $10 million supercar." After hearing all that, I felt like I was going to fall over. I took a sip of my iced coffee and asked him in return, "What about you?" "Yes, you. I want to see your real prosperity. If you can prove it, I'll sell my house and invest too." He gave a forced laugh and replied, "I don't have that right now, but I will in the future, very soon." I thought to myself, oh boy, I don't even know what I'm having for dinner tonight. This is just a virtual asset from a scam system. No matter how naive you are, you shouldn't believe in things like this. From my perspective, any huge profit that comes without effort or intelligence is likely a scam. The barrier to entry for this multi-level marketing industry is very low, almost non-existent. As long as you can read and write, you can join. No resume or degree needed. The story of gamers and multi-level marketing. Seeing this man reminded me of my friends and myself more than 10 years ago when we were immersed in online gaming. If anyone, a teacher, a parent, or a friend, had advised us to stop playing games, they waste time, money, and health, and most importantly, your youth, we would never have listened. We would argue back. Look at Faker. Look at Shroud. They're famous, they have huge fan bases, and they make millions of dollars. Who says playing games is pointless? Similar to MLM, the barrier to entry to become a gamer is extremely low. What do you need to play a game? Nothing, really. You just need to be literate enough to understand the rules, create an account, and play. Because of this, the competition is incredibly fierce. Out of millions of gamers, only one becomes a faker or a shroud. What's more, being a gamer isn't just about playing games. To become a professional gamer, you have to be skilled enough to beat thousands of others and have enough motivation, resilience, and willpower. You also need many other skills: communication, interacting with viewers, a sense of humor, creativity, teamwork, and work management. Most importantly, you have to accept the impermanence of the profession, as a career span is very short, only about 5 to 10 years. This requires you to have additional skills in financial management, investment, or at least another job to sustain your income after you retire. These are just some things I've realized, and there are countless other issues as well. Out of millions of gamers, how many recognize and practice these basic things? In my opinion, don't use any gaming star or legendary investor as a facade for yourself. We need to clearly differentiate. Playing games for fun is different from playing games to make money. Scam investments are different from thoughtful investments. The sayings "many people make money from games" and "many people make money from this or that platform" are fundamentally no different. The important thing is that you must achieve results with your own hands and mind, through thought, effort, and perseverance. That's how it is with any profession. There is no such thing as just throwing money in and waiting for 5 or 10 times the profit, or burying your head in games and thinking you'll make money just because others do. If you don't have those factors, you're just a game addict or an MLM scammer, nothing more. Personally, I think you should get up and go play sports. A little sweat will clear your head. The story of a little student. I used to tutor a boy who was very cute and smart, but also a bit lonely. Once, after a lesson, he confided that he rarely got to play with his parents because they were busy with more important things. He asked me, "What are these important things that adults have to juggle so much?" I asked the boy, "When you have a stomach ache and need to use the restroom at school, what's the important thing?" He answered, "Rush to the restroom and handle it." I agreed and continued, "Do you know the way to the school restroom?" He said, "Of course, I go there a few times every day." I then asked, "When you run to the toilet, do you look at the path to see if it's crowded? And do you use your position to find the fastest way?" The boy hesitated, and I asked, "Between getting to the restroom in time and ensuring safety on the way, which is more important?" "Both," he replied. "Because if I don't get there in time, it's easy to have an accident. But what's often overlooked is that if I run without looking, I could bump into someone or something and fall, which would be painful, and I'd still have an accident." The story sounds crude, but it actually contains the answer to his original question: what is important? I explained that it's not just when we go to the restroom that we need to focus and observe carefully. It's the same for everything in life. Even if you inherit a big company or negotiate a multi-million-dollar contract, the most important thing is still the task right in front of you. If the present isn't good, then it's hard for the near or distant future to be good either. If you trip on your way to the toilet, your immediate future is an accident. Similarly, if you don't understand today's lesson, tomorrow's new topic will be hard to grasp, or you'll only have a vague understanding. There's a reason Buddhism tells people to live in the present. The present is the foundation, the core for the future. If you don't work smoothly right now, it will be the same later. In my opinion, the work of the present is more important than anything else. The boy seemed to understand. He nodded, or maybe he was getting sleepy. But I think not, because he asked one more question: "Am I the most important person to my parents?" I answered that I couldn't respond to that question because I wasn't his parent. Sometimes I wonder who the most important person is to me. My parents, my grandparents, my wife and children, or someone else? In my opinion, no one is. Similar to the question, what is the most important thing? The important person is the one right in front of us at this very moment. Cherish those who are present. I have a habit of not using my phone when I'm having coffee with friends. I either put it in my pocket or neatly in a corner of the table. I have to admit that I'm a bit different from the majority of people at cafes, where everyone is usually glued to their phones, like immersed in them without saying a word to each other. They sit across from each other but aren't present in each other's minds. We are present with people who are very far away and even strangers, but we're not present with the person facing us. Social media makes it easier to connect with people far away, but it weakens the bonds between those who are close. It's the same in my students' family. Their family relationships are getting looser and looser. They see each other for a fleeting moment every day, ask a few questions, and then go back to their own business. No one is truly present in anyone else's mind. The boy is also a victim of life's daily grind and rush. The question, "Am I the most important person to my parents?" showed me how lonely he was in his own world, even with both parents. I always cherish the people I am interacting with and who are present right in front of me because I value non-duin, fate or karma, something no one can control. We meet today, but tomorrow is not guaranteed. We hold hands now, but 10 minutes from now, we might not be. The future is something we cannot grasp, so there is a reason Buddhism teaches living in the present. Of course, everyone should have a plan, a short-term one for a quarter, or a long-term one for 1 to 5 years. Planning is very important for guiding one's life. But in my opinion, the most important thing is still to fully do the work of the present and cherish the person in front of you. I took a few minutes to talk to the boy's parents. I just said, Making money and focusing on a career are important. It's true. But if you have money and your child is spoiled, depressed, or acts out, what's the point of that money and career? I don't know if they understood, but that's my perspective. In any case, they paid me enough for the tutoring, so I was happy with that. Often we think about the important things of tomorrow, but we forget that today is the day we are still alive, still able to interact and love.